Now at 5 and streaming on crossroadstoday.com, Goliad residents are speaking out tonight over the fate of a historic monument. Plus, a new partnership is opening doors for nursery ISD students after 6th grade, what's changing and how it could impact local families. Plus, President Trump hits the 100-day mark of his second term with historic poll numbers. See how his approval rating stacks up and what it could mean for his agenda.
Mostly cloudy skies in the crossroads this afternoon, gusty winds. When does the rain chances return? There will. I'll give you details coming up in my full forecast.
Plus, a Navy jet vanished into the Red Sea after a tense encounter. Find out what happened aboard the USS Currie S. Truman. You're watching 25 News Now at 5. Good afternoon and thanks for being with us. I'm Shawna Currie. Goliad residents are voicing their opinion tonight on the proposed sale of the Fannin Monument. 25 News Now reporter Trenton Whiting is in Goliad now and brings us the details. Trenton. May not be ready for the changes that come with puberty. About 4 in 10 parents say they waited to talk about it until their child brought it up. But experts say don't wait. These conversations should start early. In today's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither shares tips on how to make those talks easier.
It can be a tough topic to tackle, but preparing children for puberty is critical. And experts say hearing about it from parents, not just peers, makes a huge difference.
Nothing is scarier than something that you may not be ready for.
Dr. Jay Lee with the American Academy of Family Physicians says one of the best things a parent can do is what he calls anticipatory guidance. Letting their kids know what to expect not only keeps them informed, but can reduce anxiety.
Over the course of my 23 years of being a physician, that we've seen puberty start earlier and earlier amongst children.
That's why Lee says having the conversation earlier is important. Start by asking open-ended questions regarding what they know about puberty and the physical and emotional changes that will happen to their bodies. Listen and answer those questions, letting them know what to expect. Then normalize the experience. It's something everyone goes through as they become an adult. And Lee says this conversation isn't necessarily about sex.
It's critical to talk about it, about the biology of the changes that are happening and why it is that they're maturing in their bodies. And then, I would say parents often will have a pretty good spidey sense of when to have that conversation with the child about sex.
And if you need tough talk help, Lee suggests reaching out to the child's doctor. For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Dr. Lee says it's really important that children get information about puberty from trusted sources like their parents, who can give honest and evidence-based answers. The Mauna Loa company is voluntarily recalling some of their nuts. Dark chocolate-covered macadamias are being recalled due to the possible presence of undeclared almonds and cashews. The company said this could affect consumers who have allergies to those nuts. The product is packaged in 0.6 ounce and 4 ounce bags. The smaller bag has a best by date of October 2026. The bigger bag has a best by date of July 2026. The nuts were distributed to multiple retail stores in various states. If you have bought this product, you can take it to the store for a full refund.
Take a review of the day. 85 degrees was the official high in Victoria today, this afternoon. Low 72 degrees, above normal for a normal high and low. We are under normal by the big amount for the year and for the month in rainfall. Catching up on the rainfall at some point could be the case. We'll give you the details coming up next in the full forecast. Good afternoon. Trey mining here in the western part of the state of Texas, and a lot of Oklahoma under a tornado watch for severe weather anticipated there like they've had over the weekend. In comparison, we are very quiet around here. Cloudy skies, southerly winds off the Gulf, keeping that humidity quite high. Don't have a lifting mechanism to get that moisture lifted up and build clouds skyward for rain showers and storms, but there is a front that'll get closer to us by midweek. That'll help to increase the lift somewhat in our forecast, so increasing better chances of rain by that time. And our average high this week is 83 degrees climatologically. We'll be above that coming up in the next several days in the upper 80s to near 90 degrees. So feeling like summertime around here. A little bit of breeze, not really cooling you off too much. Had a few little small rain showers earlier along the I-10 corridor, Hallettsville to San Antonio, and down to near Corpus Christi. But mostly cloudy, partly cloudy skies has ruled the Crossroads area, mostly on the dry conditions side like we have been seeing. And there's those few little rain showers there coming in a little small band along I-10, the Seguin area, along San Marcos and points north of there, north of LaGrange. But nothing around the Crossroads yet. I say yet because the chance will be increasing in time. Temperatures mid-80s as you see, and then cooling off, and not really too much more than it is right now actually, in the low to mid-70s for the overnight low early tomorrow morning. 8 a.m. by your day on Tuesday, be about 77, 78 degrees, and then warming weather rapidly throughout the day, well into the 80s. And near 90 degrees are topping that out in the western parts of the Crossroads region, Carson City to Beeville again for your day tomorrow, like they had today. And the warm conditions are going to continue, even though the front will get closer to us. Not really changing our temperatures too much, just keeping the pretty much the warm, humid conditions in place. And the boundary line, that's about it, will come into play coming up by about Tuesday into Wednesday. Until then, the southerly winds still continue, gusty throughout the afternoon to 20 miles per hour or even higher in the gust, reducing somewhat in the overnight, but keeping the southerly flow is still in place. And you kind of see a hint as you look right in here. It should be coming on through, kind of a little bit of a boundary coming on through on your day. There it is by your Tuesday and into your Wednesday. A little bit of northerly winds trying to take hold. And this wind structure here will create a little more lift in the atmosphere and giving us some better rain chances. That's looking like to be the case. We're looking at the weather model here. Most of the precipitation for Tuesday well out west, away from the Crossroads area. But getting a little bit closer, better chances here coming up by Wednesday through the rest of the week as the front over the area continues to pretty much stay put and stall out, giving us continued rain chances for the time being. Port Lavaca, tomorrow morning, cloudy skies. Partly cloudy skies by the afternoon. Highs in the mid-80s. Squirrel, cloudy skies to start off with partly cloudy skies by the afternoon, mid-80s or so for the daytime high, with gusty southerly winds. Victoria, cloudy skies as well. Partly cloudy by afternoon like we have been seeing. More clouds than sun, I think is going to be the case. Small rain chances begin on Wednesday, as we showed you there on the weather model. They'll continue through the rest of the time period, with the front getting closer on Friday and Saturday for increasing rain chances by then. Certainly good news for that. And then last week the weekend as well, with highs in the 80s to near 90, lows in the 70s. A little bit cooler behind the front on Friday, Saturday, maybe some upper 60s for lows. So feeling a little bit of a difference by then. Overall, the temperature is not changing too much. Get ready for the rain chances. Keep that umbrella handy just in case. Wednesday through the rest of the week. And take a look at this right here. This is the QR code on your screen. Scan the code. They'll take you to a web page. You can download our app. News, weather, and sports at your fingertips. Very easy, convenient, free of charge as well to be connected with us. Shawna?
Coming up, is the American dream of home ownership slipping away? See how today's costs stack up when it comes to buying versus renting. A divided Monday on Wall Street. The Dow gained more than 100 points, its fifth day in a row to close in positive territory. The S&P 500 only gained 3 points, and the Nasdaq slid 16 points. Oil is down $1.17 to $61.91 a barrel. Well, for decades, owning a home has been part of the American dream, but as prices and mortgage rates remain high, it's a dream that many can no longer afford. In today's Consumer Watch, Jen Sullivan looks at the cost to buy versus renting a home.
The cost of living continues to rise across the country. In March, the median existing home sale price climbed to over $400,000. That's nearly 3% higher than a year ago, according to the National Association of Realtors. And home sales have dipped as a result, with many buyers wondering if they can even afford a home.
Affordability continues to be the biggest barrier for Americans trying to achieve home ownership.
Alex Gailey is an analyst at the consumer finance company Bankrate. They recently found on average, renting a home is cheaper than paying a mortgage in all 50 of the largest U.S. metro areas.
We know home prices have skyrocketed in the last few years because we saw that big pandemic boom. And we also know mortgage rates have risen dramatically.
The median monthly mortgage payment in March was about $2,800, according to Redfin. Mortgages typically include property taxes and home insurance costs. Whereas the median rent was about $1,600, but rentals often tend to be smaller.
There's a lot of upfront costs that you don't have to deal with renting that can be financially beneficial for you, even if you are missing out on building equity through a home.
There is some good news. The further you live from a major city, the price gap between buying and renting a home narrows. And many experts predict home sale prices will come down in the next few years as more inventory comes onto the market. For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
Huawei is reportedly gearing up to test a new artificial intelligence chip, one it hopes could rival some of NVIDIA's top-tier models. The Wall Street Journal says the chip, called the Ascend 910D, is still in early development, but Huawei has already reached out to Chinese tech companies to help with testing. The company's goal is to compete with NVIDIA's powerful H100 chip. Huawei has been on the U.S. trade blacklist since 2019 as the U.S. continues efforts to slow China's push in the semiconductor industry. Well, a Pueblo penguin is making waves on the world stage. Find out how Ducky became a fan favorite and a local celebrity coming up next.
This week, now that Pope Francis has been laid to rest, who will succeed him? Choosing the next pope, the world waits as the Vatican prepares for a conclave. World News Tonight with David Muir is America's most watched newscast.
Well, people love watching penguins, and one of the world's favorites lives in Pueblo, Colorado. A penguin named Ducky from the Pueblo Zoo waddled his way into the global spotlight, landing in the top 6 of this year's March of the Penguin Madness. That's a worldwide fan voting contest. Ducky beat out birds from much bigger zoos thanks to local support there in Pueblo. And while he didn't win it all, Pueblo Zoo staff say that he's a star and a great ambassador for endangered African penguins. And if you happen to be in Pueblo, you can visit Ducky at the zoo's Eco Center.
Very nice.
So, yeah, so, you know, internet famous.
Exactly, and of course they come well dressed.
Sure, I know, they should make a calendar for them.
Exactly, yes.
The penguins of 2026.
Exactly, it sounds like a good idea. And for us around here, we'll have increasing rain chances beginning tomorrow, 20%, and that'll maximize Friday, Saturday, 50%, so better rain chances by then. Highs in the 80s, still a little bit above normal. Lows in the 60s to near 70.
All right, we need the rain.
We do.
But it keeps that humidity out there, makes it feel like summertime.
It sure does, yes.
Yeah, so, all right, well, keep the umbrella handy later this week. Keep the fans available, stay cool, stay hydrated.
That's the best advice.
All right. Well, thank you for being with us. Our next newscast is in 30 minutes, right after World News Now with David Muir. We'll see you back here at 6.